Hello everyone, Alka1993 here, with the first in a series of Pokémon Vortex version 4 tutorial videos, where I'll take one part of Pokémon Vortex version 4, whether new or old, and go into a lot of detail about it. In today's video, the first video, I'll be going into detail about how to get quick and easy experience for your Pokémon. Why would you want experience? Well, you can use it to evolve your Pokémon. You want your Pokemon to get to level 100 to be as powerful as they can be to potentially help in side quests with gyms, anything like that. And also, if you get Pokemon with a lot of EXP, they give you points and they help you get onto leaderboards. What the leaderboards really are, I won't go into detail about that in this video itself. If you want to see that though, please leave it as a suggestion in the comments. I already have a list of a good amount of ideas. If you have any more suggestions, please leave them there. Now let's get started. To start us off, I'm going to look at two different ways of training. And I'm also going to look at two different kinds of Pokemon. And these kinds are Pokemon with immunities and Pokemon without immunities. Immunities are things that make you not get hit by a certain type or even types. For example, the Steel type is immune to poison. No poison moves affect it. They take no damage. Ground is immune to electric. Flying is immune to ground, etc. There's a good amount of more immunities out there. So to start us off, I am going to show you how to train Pokemon with immunities, and I'm going to do that with Pidgey, a Sandile, and a Zorua. Here they are now in the team. Now before we get to training, we need to still know how really do you train? Do you battle against, are there specific things or people you battle against? Yes, there are. There are training accounts. For those who've been around since version 2, there have been proper training accounts that were by like regular people that you can easily train against. Those do not exist. However, there are people nice enough who set up an account with Pokemon that you can really easily train against. And this is easiest with Pokemon that have immunities, which is why I'm using the immunity Pokemon as my first example. This is a page that lists a lot of training accounts for both Pokemon with immunities and those that don't. It is somewhat of an old page, as you can see here, January 30th, 2016, but to my knowledge they all still apply. There may just be a few extra ones that aren't listed here. For this first example, I'm going to be making use of training Groudon for ground, training Darkrai for dark, and for flying I'm making use of training a Veltal. Sandile, you can actually make use of both training Groudon and training Darkrai because it's both a ground and a dark type. I'm going to show you the ground one. So you go to battle any member, computer controlled, and type in the box here on the left the Pokemon, well, the training accounts that you wish to train against, or any person you want to battle against. I want to battle against a training account, so I'll type training Groudon. Battle. Now, why is training Groudon useful for ground types? Well, one, because the Pokemon there are 4 times a week to ground, so that makes your level ups go faster. Second thing, they only know electric moves, and that's the important part, which means you fully make use of your immunity by battling against them. So, even though my Shadow Sandile is only level 9, and all these Aggron are level 100, no damage, nope, 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 does nothing, nope, no Shockwave, nope, no Thunderbolt, Thunder Punch, nope, 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 doesn't work, no, oops, no, 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 doesn't affect, nope, 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 miss, no, no, doesn't work, nope. And that's how I beat the Aggron. And then I just do that 5 more times. This process doesn't take very long. Now, naturally, as you can expect with level 5 or 6 Pokemon, it'll take longer than with something that is level 20. However, it really doesn't take long. You pretty much only press the exact same button, and then only when you have to fight the new Pokemon, you have to click continue. So, my Shadow Sandile, level 9, just beat a team of 6 level 100s, and with that gained 33,333 experience points. What does that mean for its level? Well, it went from level 9 to level 75. Which is super awesome, so now I can evolve it, boom. And then I immediately evolve it again, because it's definitely a high enough level for that. Boom. Shadow Crocodile in one fight. It really did not take long. Now my Shadow Sandile started at level 9. Now I'd like to show you a bit of differences with how much EXP you get depending on what level Pokemon with immunity you are training. So I also have here a level 6 Dark Pidgey and a level 20 Metallic Zorua. I'll take the Pidgey, take it to its appropriate training account, training of Veltal. Let's see what the XP of Pidgey will be after the fight. And there we go. 50,000 experience points, 60,000 money to take along with it as well. Now, a level is 500 experience points. Therefore, 1,000 experience points is 2 levels. 50,000 experience points is exactly 100 levels. And because it already started in level 6, it would have been level 106. Would it continue beyond level 100? So as you can see, level 6 Pokemon go instantly to level 100. Level 7 doesn't do that. I believe it ends at 92. It's all based on a calculation, the total levels of the Pokemon you're used compared to the total levels of the Pokemon the opponent used. So obviously level 6 compared to 600 is different than a level 20 compared to 600. I won't go into detail about that calculation. However, I will finish the visualization of what the level differences will do by training Zorua as well. Zorua just finished training, and as you can see, it's only 15,000 experience points. Which means, I believe, 30 levels that it gained, which should make it now a level 50 Zorua. It is indeed a level 50 Metallic Zorua. So, the highest level you can catch a wild Pokemon at is level 20. A regular wild Pokemon anyway. So you get it to minimum level 50, or even to a level 100 if you have a level 6 out. So that is an easy way to get things through immunities. Something I do want to show as well in the various types that are listed here. For example, with flying, there's 3 different ones listed. Training of Veltal has Chestnut, 4 times a week to flying. Therefore, really helpful to use. All 4 ground moves works well. Flying Soda, similar thing, except it uses Heracross. Still 4 times a week to flying, works well. I do want to show you Train Flying. You go to Battle Any Member. Train Flying. Now, Train Flying doesn't actually have Pokemon that are weak to flying, because they use Golurk, a ghost ground type. They still use ground moves. Therefore, your flying type is still immune. However, it'll just take longer to train against this account due to the fact that they aren't weak to flying. So generally, it is suggested that you use an account that has a weakness, or even a 4 times weakness to whatever you're trying to do. For example, what I didn't show was the training Darkrai account for dark types uses 6 Lunala that only use psychic type moves. Lunala, being a psychic ghost type, is 4 times a week to dark. However, it isn't possible with all types to get a Pokemon that knows 4 of a certain type of move. For example, for Steel, I believe it is training Dialga. If you would want to train a Steel type, you can do it there. You have a Shuckle, only 2 times a week, but then it is at least possible to use 4 poison moves to still get a super effective hit in while not being affected by the Pokemon whatsoever. Now, this is an easy way to get your Pokemon to level up from low levels to higher levels, and then to evolve them as well, potentially to fill up your Pokedex. That's definitely what I use. But what if your Pokemon already is at level 100? Well, let's just show you with Pidgeot, considering it's already there. You take it to Flying Veltal, because it's still the quickest way, and you just one-shot everything. Generally, by the time it has evolved to its final stage, it has a move that can one-shot these accounts, especially with generally with Stab, same type attack bonus, and with the 4 times weakness of a good amount of these accounts. 30,000 EXP. It isn't a lot, considering it's already at level 100 itself. However, it is a very quick way to get EXP. One final thing I want to mention before I go to the second portion of this video. There is one type of Pokemon, that has an immunity that isn't actually super effective against anything. I just said that you want training accounts that you're super effective against to speed up your training. However, with one type that isn't possible, and that is the normal type. because normal types aren't super effective against anything while still being immune to one type, that being Ghost. So I will take a Zigzagoon, and with the Zigzagoon, show you the example of the two different normal type teams that you can train against. They're both listed here, Normal Unit and Mur. And depending on the moves of your normal type, one could be more helpful than the other. Normal Unit has 6 Zigzagoon, but either no status moves that don't do anything, or Ghost type moves in Hidden Power Ghost and Shadow Ball. This is one you can generally use for your normal types, especially if they happen to have a fighting move such as Brick Break or Rock Smash, then this might be the fastest one for you. Mur is also a training account for normal types, however, it actually involves ghosts. This is Bayonet with 4 different ghost type moves, which once again don't affect your normal types, but the type is different. So, for example, my Dark Zigzagoon here has Tackle, Pin Missile, Mud Slap, and Pursuit. Its strongest move on its own, to my knowledge, is Tackle. So that would do decent damage against normal units, the Zigzagoon team. However, if we take it to the Bayonet, then Pursuit super effective might just do a little bit more than Tackle would do normal effective against Zigzagoons. So in this case, fighting against the Bayonet might be just that little bit more helpful and will make the training a bit faster for Zigzagoon. So keep that in mind if you're training your normal types. Okay, so now I've talked about Pokemon with immunities, and I believe the point is clear. You can definitely make use of the training accounts, make use of your Pokemon's immunity to get quick and easy experience. But how does that work with Pokemon that don't have immunities? For example, Slugma. Let's assume at first that you can use the exact same methods as the previous example. Use training accounts. Slugma is a pure Fire-type Pokemon. So we go to the list of training accounts. By the way, this list will be, the link of it will be in the description of the video. If it's not there, please make a comment and I'll add it ASAP. We have Train Fire and Training Kyurem. So let's just take Terrain Fire. We go to Battle. Battle any member, computer controlled. Train Fire. Battle. Swatloon and Sawaddle. All 4 times weak to fire, looks perfectly fine. Bug-Bite, Razor Leaf, Energy Ball, Cut. Swaddle, Tackle, Strings, and Bug-Bite, Razor Leaf, more helpful. It is always helpful to have Pokemon that can affect you the least. So purely looking at this, Swatloon can already deal more damage than Swaddle can purely based on its moves. So this training account can be improved. Let's just show an example. Let's just send out this Slugma. Flame Burst, strong move, can do quite a lot of damage. As you can see, Energy Ball, it's one-shotted, even as a level 17 Metallic Slugma. A Metallic actually taking 25% less damage than normal, and is not very effective. So is this an effective training account? No. Because it can't do it on its own. And this even more applies to Pokemon that are lower level. This is Metallic and level 17. So my suggestion is, don't use the training accounts when you're a Pokemon without an immunity that is a low level. How do you then train a Pokemon that is low level and doesn't have an immunity? Well, you make use of a different Pokemon that does have an immunity. Now, I have some examples right here in my team already. Let's just take my Dark Rayquaza Mega. Generally for this, I like to use my Shiny Fearow, just like my training Pokemon. So actually, let's switch to that Shiny Fearow, purely because that's the one I'd like to use. There we go. My trusted Shiny Fearow is here. As you can see, 1.3 million experience. It's actually the Pokemon I have with the most experience, which actually makes me kind of proud. And I do use it a lot, so it does make sense. I use it to train up a lot of Pokemon to help them evolve, to help fill my Pokedex. So, how do we then train the Slugma and the Fearow together? It's really all about the Slugma. We take a Pokemon with the immunity, in my case, a Fearow with a flying type, therefore flying immunity, so training a Veltal is a nice account to use for it. But you can also use a Dark Swampert with ground type, therefore electric immunity. You use it training Groudon account, which I showed earlier with the 6 Agrons. You can use that as well. Take whichever one with an immunity that you like. I just like to use my Shiny Fearow because Shiny Fearow looks nice. So we go to Shiny Fearow's training account, training a Veltal. Make sure your immunity Pokemon is second in your slots, and the Pokemon you want to train is first. So Metallic Slugma is here. And unfortunately, it is likely going to be taken out very quickly. Here it was in the second hit. Then what happens? Well, then you just send out your Furo, and you one-shot everything. And one-shot the second Pokemon, and one-shot the third Pokemon, and this actually happens really fast. What happens at the end of it? Well, 2,564 experience. Obviously, depending on the level of the Pokemon you're training, the amount of experience does differ. We do get a decent amount of experience, and with this, it's just over 5 levels. So obviously this goes a lot slower than with an immunity, and unfortunately that's just how it is with Pokemon that don't have an immunity. Your training will go slower. However, as you could see earlier, this process is a very quick process. So you can just repeat it however many times you want, until the Pokemon that you're training, in this case the Metallic Slugma, has the level you desire. So this could be a level 50 because of something that you just want everything at minimum level 50, for example, or you just want to get it to the level it needs to be at to evolve. For example, this Metallic Slugma evolves level 38, so you can just repeat this process until the Metallic Slugma reaches level 38. Does this now apply to Pokemon of other types as well that don't have an immunity? For example, water types. I'll take a shiny Finneon and a Primal Kyogre to give you that example. Same thing as before, let's check what training accounts there are for water. There's Ayara Leftisk, there's Water Me, there's Training Kyogre. And I'll be taking a look at two of them, Ayara Leftisk and Training Kyogre. So Ayara Leftisk, it has 5 Ninetales and a Vulpix. All 2 times weak to water. And they either have moves that don't do very much, or they just don't do anything at all. Unfortunately, just like with the Swadloon example before, after a few hits, your Pokemon will be done. So, just like with the Slugma example, it's a low level, therefore you will want to train it by using an immunity of a different Pokemon. However, if your Pokemon is a very high level Pokemon, a level 100 Primal Kyogre, for example, it's a bit different. Because with the HP that it has, 400, and the resistances it might have to the moves that the Pokemon use, this might be a bit more useful. So let's go to the Training Kyogre account. Quite appropriate considering we have a Primal Kyogre. And the Training Kyogre account actually makes use of the 4 times effectiveness of water moves against rock ground types, Graveler and Golem, with Incinerate, which doesn't do much against water, Harden, which doesn't do anything at all, and Hidden Power Water and Steel, which hit it for not very effective damage. So let's take our Kyogre. Water Spout, 100% accurate move. Generally, you'd want to use 100% accurate moves to do these training accounts, especially if you know you can get through them, also with the immunities, because otherwise sometimes you miss, and then more text appears, and then the button you want to continuously just be able to click on slightly moves downwards, and you have to move. And that can be a little bit annoying. So try to use something that is 100% accurate, but has at least 80 power. Once you've done that, 80 power with stab. So for example, Drill Peck can one-shot a Pokemon that is a Metallic or Shiny at 2 times effectiveness. As you can see, these Gravelers have been damaging me, and this Golem in a moment will as well. But because my Primal Kyogre has been able to one-shot these Pokemon, it is a better training account to use. 3,000 experience points for Kyogre right there. Now, would I have used this Kyogre together with an immunity Pokemon, such as the Shiny Furo I used before, then I would only gain 1,500 experience points due to the fact that I add another level 100 to the equation. So if your Pokemon without an immunity is at level 100, or potentially near level 100, then you are actually able to just send it out on its own against a proper training account, for example the Training Kyogre that I just showed for water types, and still get pretty good experience by itself. There's 2 more things that I want to tell and show you before we end this video off. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So, let's switch our team around a little bit again. Here are a few of my Pokemon. Shelmet, Metallic Caterpie, Surskit, I want to talk about those 3. As I said earlier in the video, you can train your Pokemon, give them more EXP for various reasons. To evolve them, to get your high XP, to get high on the ranking lists, and other means. Now, to know about training for evolving is that Pokemon evolve at different levels. Especially Generation 5 Pokemon generally evolve quite late. For example, the Shelmet only evolves at level 46. So, because it doesn't have an immunity, it being a pure bug type, training it with a shiny Fearow or any other immunity Pokemon takes a little while. While otherwise, the Surskit only evolves at level 22. So that actually only takes 2 battles against, in this case, training a Veltal to get Surskit to evolve in Masquerade. And if you just want the evolution for your Pokedex, that is real quick. Real easy to do. You'll be done within the minute. Now, you don't actually always have to battle to increase EXP to evolve your Pokemon. For example, there are Pokemon that evolve at low levels that you can just instantly evolve. For example, if you catch a Bulbasaur at level 16 or higher, you can instantly evolve into an Ivysaur. Sure, if you want a Venusaur, then you still have to train to level 32 minimum, but you can at least get an Ivysaur already. And then you have things like Caterpie, which can evolve twice before the end of level 20. It even gains its second evolution at level 10. That being the earliest second evolution of the entire game, purely by level up evolutions. So this Metallic Caterpie can go straight to Metapod, and this Metallic Metapod can then straight go to Metallic Butterfree. Hey, I never had to train this thing. I caught it at level 19. Boom. Metallic Butterfree right there. Easy. One final thing to note and to remember, that when using any of these training accounts, that these training accounts are operated and used by real people. Why is this important? Well, because they're made by real people, and actually most of the training accounts like Training Hero, Training Yveltal, Training Xerneas, most of those accounts were made by the same person. So the potential is there. I would say the potential is very low. Well, the chance is very low. But the potential is there that this person decides to take one of those accounts, or even all of them, and just put random Pokemon on there. So on Training Yveltal, which I showed multiple times in this video, instead of having 6 Chestnuts on there, they decide to put a Magikarp and a Solgaleo and a Onix and a Munchlax and a Lucario and a Pikachu. At random levels, some of them might be level 7. So is that then a useful training account? No. Training accounts, proper training accounts, when you give the most EXP possible, that's against level 100s. So that is possible. To my knowledge, most of these I did check. I didn't check all of them, but most of the ones listed here I did check. And as of November 11th, 2017, they're fine. They have the Pokemon that they should have. But remember that if, let's say, Training Yveltal suddenly has a Pikachu and a Lucario on it, then that is possible. People can change the things on there if it is their account, if they decide to do that for whatever reason. In which case, I should just find a different training account that you can use. Most of these do have multiple listed. Now, I believe I've said everything that you need to know about how to get quick and easy experience points for your Pokemon for various mains. If there's anything you feel you missed in this video that you still have a question about, please don't hesitate to ask me in the comments. I definitely read my comments. I want to answer all of the questions you still have. If you feel you want a bit more elaboration, a bit more information about a certain thing that I mentioned in this video, please ask me that as well, and I'll be glad to help you out with that. Speaking of other tutorial videos, if you have any suggestions for things that you want me to do, then please leave those in the comments as well. I have a good amount of ideas already, things I want to do, but suggestions from you are definitely appreciated. There may be things I haven't thought of yet, and if there's a demand for a certain thing that's really high, then I may do that thing sooner than what I otherwise would have. For example, I'll definitely make a video about getting easy money. I'll make a video about Pokebay, how Pokebay works. I'll make a video about what Ultra Beasts really are and how they differ from other Pokemon in Pokemon Vortex. How you can even catch legendaries in the first place. There are many things of Pokémon Vortex V4 that I can and want to cover. But if there's something you really want to see and want to see early, then let me know in the comments. That's it for this video. I'll see you in the next tutorial video. Goodbye.